for Jesus Warriors Club once more. I'm going to talk about breaking the JINX. Line Shield Formation or TESTUDO. Going past a place called KIBABE University in Bungoma. First, before I can proceed with that, I would like to say that when I was talking of those people that encouraged me, where I read for you, when you are at peace with God, even your friends will be at peace with you, your enemies will be at peace with you. I forgot that there used to be another vehicle also that would follow and was very encouraging, and it used to have Jabez's prayer. It was written on Jabez. And from 1 Chronicles 4, verse 9 to 10, it talks about Jabez, whose mother had in pain, and she called him Pain. So Jabez means pain. But as he grew up, he realized that his name was having negative repercussions on his advancement. So he prayed God to bless him and bless him exceedingly. And indeed, he was blessed exceedingly. He was a great man. Having said that, I talked of breaking the JINX. I told you when I was coming from where I came to this town, I did not just come because I wanted to move. It was a matter of moving, saving the life. I made it to this place, and in that former place I could not be able to write any statement, go to any police station, because I was kept, there was surveillance on me 24 hours. So as I came here, I thought I would escape that, but even from the vehicles I took, I had an escort, and here they were again ready for the 24-hour surveillance, and it went on. So it took a while because now there were threats on my children, and some of the people even in the neighboring place will say, now why are they taking these children to school? And they are the old altars children, they are children for sacrifice. Why bother taking them to? Why waste money? Why are they wasting the money of the people who are? So they were taught like that. And I would pray to God. But the mother did not notice, because the way I told you, things are played in such a way that when the victim has been made to be a madman, in quotes, you can be able to do things around, and it will be construed that the other person is not okay, it's not normal. So it went on for a while. That time I came, I was in sort of a depression. It was difficult for me to get out of the house, because there was a time I'd gotten out, gone to the hospital, and there was an incident in the hospital where I'd taken my daughter. And when I came from there, I thought by moving out I would be putting everybody in danger, because nobody was following them when they were going out alone when I was in. So I started listening to music most of the time. I would play very loud music, Christian music. And they would pass by communicating, because they would sometimes communicate loud. They passed by motorbikes, or sometimes when people would pretend to, and when there was an opportunity, they would talk aloud about me disrespecting them by playing the music of God. Most of the time I was in the house, never used to leave the house. So the wife would go and work, share some business, and then take care of me as I pursued the other things, the other line of where I was coming from, to get an early retirement, because it appeared like everybody was out to have me sacked. But God is good. applied for an early retirement and it was granted. So I was trying to fix that, and it was a difficult time. I'd been told not to go outside the confines of town. I had been told not to go to a place where there is a university called KIBABE University. I'll never extend that way. By that time, I was staying in a place called, let me not give names. And I came to realize that the reason was, one, they wanted me to get sacked. Two, they never wanted me to get any job. So there was fear that I may go with my credentials and maybe be given a working job, part-time job or something at KIBABE University. I don't know what they had seen with their diviners. And I was not supposed to report to any school. I was not supposed to do anything. I was just supposed to stay in the house, wear out with nothing, do nothing completely. So it became cumbersome. I eventually approached my wife and told her I'm not what people say I am. The way I came from there, it was not because of madness, but it was because of what was to happen to me. Because nobody would understand. That time it was me, but they were moving around, they were staying around. And I requested her to go, and now because I had been warned even from that other side, if I approach any police station or anything, they will kill my family members. So I kept away from there. Even when I left the other town, I had not. So I talked to her. I knew they were listening to me, but I knew they would, because I told you about the mind. I told you about, I even felt like the house was bad, but that did not matter. So I asked her to go, and if she knew somebody in police, she would go and request for help. And sure enough, she found somebody who had been a customer buying things, and when she told him the story, he was really moved. He came to the place. I told him a bit of what I had, because that time I didn't want to talk loud. I didn't want to divulge much. And he called somebody senior from there, and they came to the place, and they asked me to write a statement, and I did. And when that had been done, the other one, they were friends. They were very good friends. I've never met such a good people. And one decided now to help me reacquaint myself to move out, because I would move and they were not afraid. They would still follow with the vehicles. They had their writings. They would still do that. It was like they were not deterred even with the presence of the police. So after some time, there was one who said, if this thing passed by, if you take it to the police, it will be worse than it is. I didn't know what that meant. But eventually he kept encouraging me. We would move, and he would come with his vehicle and would take me out, and we would be followed. And eventually he said he wanted to find out what was happening, and from somebody he told me, I found out this may not be very good people, because there are other people who do racial killings, and that is the way they behave. But nobody is going to put you down. We shall move around with you and acquaint yourself. Move freely. Let somebody not stop your life. So we'll move in town, and that will be happening, but we kept moving. The other senior policeman also would move in town. In fact, he told me that if I wanted to move some other places within the town, he would take care. When I wanted to go out, I'll talk with the other one, and we'll see how things will go. And it was okay. But there was always that threat. If I reach KIBABE, my family will be massacred. So one time, we went to town, and he had his vehicle, and he prepared his vehicle, and I told him what had been going on, especially reaching there. And He believed in God. He used to have godly music in his vehicle. And he told me, I thought you told me you believe in God. Yes, strongly, yes. Why are you worried? Pray to God and devote yourself to God like you have always told me you're doing, and God will see you through. So after I told him, after some time, I told him about that he told me, he even rang the wife and said, now, I'm going to take your husband out. He has to get to know the town. So I may take him out some places. No, I'm with him. He's safe with me. And like I always told you of total communication when we were doing that, there was that vehicle and some other poster telling me, are you develop? Because they knew we were going, and after some time we didn't go, we stopped because he thought of taking his children to a funeral of a relative that had happened. Somebody who had been very important to him in the neighboring village at their home. He'd not told me. So as we waited, those with total communication, there was one that I had written, if I was developing cold feet, I had said I will go. And I felt like something was boiling in me, but then I didn't want to comment on anything. I didn't know what he was thinking. Sisi had said we shall be going. And then I told him, they say that if we go past KIBABE, then you know what I told you. And he told me, do you believe in God? I told him, I believe in God. Let's praise. And we put on praise music. And with that, I know Jesus shielded us. We held the line. And we went. And he showed me, this is KIBABE University. This is KIBABE town. And we went. And we went up to the border of Kenya and Uganda, Mount Elgon. That is where their home was. I could be able to see Mount Elgon from. Even when I passed that place, the phone I had reflected, you are now entering Uganda, because the network for Uganda goes past that, partly into Kenya. So as I was going, there are those who were following, motorbike and vehicles as usual. And even one was riding a motorbike written on with a small placard written on teacher. But he told me, ignore everything. Don't look. Even if don't look. We're with you. Just put your trust in God. And we went and we saw the people, talked a bit, and then we came back. When we came back, because they were following the way they were following, there were some who had come across, and there was one with a warning car, red vehicle, was on a junction. And for the very first time, I saw that when Jesus is protecting you, people respect Jesus, not you. As we were coming back and we were unmoved, singing and praising in the vehicle, the man in the red vehicle saluted. I knew that was a salute for Jesus. Not our bravery, not my bravery. That one was for Jesus. It was amazing that somebody who has been hounding you, amongst those people who have been hounding you, is giving you a full salute. And we came and arrived back. That's when I heard them conversing that he's just broken a JINX. I later started wondering what JINX. And I realized that the denial to go to KIBABE had been accompanied by a spell. It was a limit I was not supposed to go past. I had gone far beyond, because I left there, left another small town and another small town, up to the boundary of Kenya and Uganda, and came back the same way. There was conversation between them. What do we do now that he has done that? But they could not be able to agree on anything after he had left. And that is what I said. Jesus can be your shield. Jesus was my shield. I crossed that barrier, that line that I had been told if I crossed, there'll be murders. And there was no murder. It's only that they haggled amongst themselves of what to do, what now that he has disobeyed this, and nothing happened. So what does this show you? It shows you that if you put your trust in Jesus, it doesn't matter how menacing the enemy is, Jesus will always take you through. This reminds me of the verse, not of the verse, there is a writing in the Bible. I have not gone to check through, but you can check through. There's internet nowadays. Now, there was a time when people were after Jesus, they wanted to stone him, and he passed between them, and they were not able to do anything. They were not able to see him. So this was a situation where the shield of Jesus made us hold the line to where we were going and came back holding the line. And Jesus got the praising. Jesus got the salute. Jesus, I salute you. That was a wonderful thing. So with Jesus, everything is possible. If this has moved you, I would like to ask you to download a Bible or buy a Bible, and you can be able to learn more. Read the Bible extensively. Read even the other books which you are told not to read, because I've gotten a lot of enlightenment from those books too. And remember, you are the temple. Jesus is your fort. Jesus is your shield. Always believe that. Have faith. With Jesus, everything is possible. That's my take for now.